So we were offering green tea and peppermint tea yesterday, and it was a hit. And it was nice to be able to discuss what's actually beneficial when it comes to these teas. So ginger, peppermint, chamomile, all fantastic for soothing the GI. If somebody's suffering with constipation or cramps, they're great. It also helps with nausea. Now the nausea may be a little bit intense given the treatment that's being undergone, but you know what, this can help, and it'll just help with the GI in general. So definitely recommending ginger, peppermint, chamomile tea for GI health, or for GI function, and keeping things under control there. Green tea. Green tea's got something called ECGC in it. Very, very powerful compound. It's making a lot of waves, just as turmeric is, with respect to the anti-cancer realm. It's similar to what we find in cruciferous veggies, this ECGC, and people are often concerned about the amount of caffeine. It's less than 10 milligrams per cup, where you get about 150 in coffee. So it's not, you are getting caffeine, so be aware of that, but it's not that much. And if you're not particularly sensitive to the caffeine and you can handle that, the benefits of the green tea are amazing. Dr. Schreiber, he's interesting actually. So he's a medical doctor, and he was actually diagnosed with brain cancer. And from what I understand, he went through traditional treatment and relapsed, but I think he had a recurrence of it, and that was when he said, okay, if we've squashed this and I relapsed, what's happening within my body that's allowing it to come back, or et cetera, et cetera, and that sort of sparked his journey. And he is a very big proponent of green tea. He mentions that it should be steeped for about 10 minutes. It should be consumed within an hour of steeping, because if you store it or try to have it a few hours later, you lose the benefits of it. So definitely try to have it within that hour. And he recommends 2 to 3 cups. I've read papers that talk about upwards of 8 cups a day. So see what works for you. But at least 2 to 3 cups, and steeping loose leaf tea, green tea, for 10 minutes to get the real benefit from it. You can continue to reuse those leaves if you are having it within a short period of time. This was big, so I really wanted to get all of the audience involved with the summer smoothie ideas. And instead of me just giving you a recipe, I wanted to work out one, or work out some options with all of the audience, because that way they'd be able to go home and make their own and be able to have a bunch of different kinds. So what I'll do with you guys here is we'll go through the same process, and just to give you guys some different ideas of how to bring, or how to make some amazing summer smoothies. And these are going to be incredibly tasty. They're going to be hits at all of your summer parties, and they're going to be your anti-cancer smoothies. So I asked the audience, what are we going to use as a base, and just to be interesting, looking at things besides water. And some people said tea, which was really cool. I actually haven't tried using tea. People said almond milk. Someone said rice milk. All wicked ideas. What I'm emphasizing, based on what I gathered from the Cancer Fighting Kitchen, is coconut milk. Coconut is one of the new superfoods. I don't think it's a fad, but just because it has so many amazing benefits, and the research just continues to support coconut in so many different forms, whether it's the nectar or the oil or the milk or the water. So going for coconut milk here, because it's an anti-inflammatory, AI anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, and you can sneak some honey in. And honey is antimicrobial. It's got some really strong infection fighting properties to it. So if you want to add a little sweetness, bring some flavor out, definitely sneak some honey in there. Then I asked them, let's look at some antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. Almost unanimously, everyone shouted out blueberries. So I think blueberries need to go in the first shake. We can't escape it, and they're fantastic. So blueberries for antioxidant properties. I shared with them that cranberries have an affinity for liver cells, mango for gallbladder, and pineapple is just an amazing anti-inflammatory. So some cool considerations. Every day I have a berry and mango smoothie, and it's wonderful. I had no idea I was helping my gallbladder like that. So I'm I was pleasantly surprised, but pineapple fantastic as well. So now we've got our base, we've got some antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. Now we're looking at some healthy fats. The reason I want to emphasize healthy fats, we're the main reason I'm bringing up these smoothie ideas more than the summer barbecues and things like that. For those individuals that have a suppressed appetite, that are really suffering with not only the disease but the treatment of the cancer, we talked about cachexia and the effect that that can have on not only recurrence but on mortality rates. To maintain a decent level of nutrition, ideally maintaining their weight in a state where their BMR, their basal metabolic rate, is just flying. So getting some healthy fats in will really up the calorie count, increase the nutritional value of these particular shakes. So olive oil slows cancer growth. Flaxseed oil is great. Omega-3, the olive oil is an omega-9. Some people like to add their fish oil right into their shakes. And just as an FYI, fish oil in capsules versus the liquid tend to last longer. The liquid, unfortunately, is very unstable, just as olive oil is to heat. The liquid fish oil is susceptible to contact with air and can become contaminated quite easily. So having it in capsule form is a little bit safer, and you can always pop the capsules if you want to add them to your smoothie here. Avocado is amazing, and the reason I highlighted it is because I never knew of adding avocado to shakes, but it is really, really cool and adds a lot to it. You're getting your healthy fats. It makes it a very interesting texture as well, and it works really well. So avocados can make their way into the mix, and walnuts, lots of healthy oil in there as well. Switching over to fiber. So fiber helps with respect to colon cancer, specifically from a preventive standpoint. We can get some almonds, which are also anti-inflammatories. Beets, very high in fiber. Yes, they're high in sugar, but if it is someone that's again in this cachexia state, it's okay to have a little bit more that way. It's a natural sugar. And ground flax. And the reason I say ground is because if we don't grind those flax seeds up, they're going to come out the same way they go in, and we're not getting any benefit. So grind it up so our body can actually do something with it. Cruciferous veggies. Another mind blower for me. I'm like, spinach smoothies and kale smoothies. I said, are you guys crazy? But again, you don't taste it. It tastes great. It's just like avocado. It adds more to it than you would think. And we're getting our cruciferous veggies in, we're getting them raw, and we're able to benefit from it. So definitely sneak some cruciferous veggies in the mix. Particularly if we're looking again at a patient who's suffering with cachexia, it might be worth looking into adding some protein. So you can use some almonds, some walnuts, you can use any kind of nut butter. If again, if it's a fairly aggressive cachexia state, using a rice pea or hemp protein supplement can be beneficial. But again, if the person is in that state, definitely worth talking to a naturopath to get a good understanding of how to really optimize these liquid meals. But that's your or those are some summer smoothie ideas. It do end up, creating some really cool recipes with respect to summer smoothies, or even some tea mixes, or any recipes using any of the ingredients that I highlighted today. I'd actually really appreciate if you could email me or post it on the website or on the Facebook group that I'll share in a moment, because it'd be nice to have everyone benefit from this. And just because I'm not a chef by any stretch of the imagination, I'm gonna call on your expertise to help fill our collective book. And just to wrap things up here, 5 key points. I covered a lot of information. I'm still going to, turn your attention to both the Cancer Fighting Kitchen and the anti-cancer book that will be referenced at the end, as well as the works of Dr. Andrew Weil, Dr. Donald Abrams. You can definitely seek out the care of Dr. Phil Rakotas if you're interested in some more nutrition information. He's a fantastic naturopath and an absolutely amazing professor. He won the Professor of the Year type award for our class this year. He's amazing. Back to business here, though. The 5 takeaway points to decrease well, to improve quality of life and survival, decrease cancer recurrence, reduce negative effects of treatment. One, sustain appropriate body weight and fat percentage. Right? We talked about how important it is to, especially at the onset of diagnosis, maintain the weight and as much as possible bring the actual amount of fat in the body down. The plant-based diet, 5 to 9, right? Limiting red meat and avoiding processed meats, definitely important. And drinking at least 2 to 3 cups of green tea. Remember, we're steeping it for 10 minutes and having it within the hour. And background in fitness, couldn't leave this out, moderate physical activity. I understand that often patients will experience, extreme fatigue as they undergo treatment and just with managing this condition. So, when I say moderate, that's a relative term. It really means what's moderate to you. If you can get up and just stand and move your arms and march on the spot for 3 minutes, that's wonderful. If that's what you can do, please do it. If you can go out and go for an hour walk, if that's what you're able to do, please do it. I've seen studies more to do with breast cancer than any other cancer, but they show that regular physical activity can reduce the risk of over 50%, and there's some amazing stuff coming out and supporting the role of physical activity. And I believe there's a program through Wellspring that focuses in on physical activity, and you're able to go through with instructors and physios, etc. So definitely, I didn't touch on it today because we were looking at nutrition, but moderate physical activity should not be left out of our list of anti-cancer activities for sure. So best way to stay in touch with me if you guys have any questions or want to be kept up to date with the articles that I write for my blog or for any of the articles. I sort of sift through the world of health and wellness and try to bring forth a lot of articles, and I post them on this on my LaTouche Wellness Facebook page. So please go out and like it. And just again to reinforce or to reiterate where I'm coming from, it's definitely an angle of prevention and holistic care, understanding that as much as we can work towards prevention, that is key. And when I say holistic care, what that means to me is understanding that our body is not different systems. It's one system that has various components to it, and we can't look at somebody as a heart, as a brain, or as a tumor. We're looking at somebody as a whole, and each one of us is different and responds differently to treatments, to our environment, to etc., etc. So that's sort of the angle that I bring, and that you'll notice that the health articles that I present reflect that. So if you're interested in staying in touch, please go out and like the Facebook page, LaTouche Wellness.